Hi. This is a video for all of you that are looking to get started into sim racing and want to build a budget setup that's like $1,000. So let me show you how I've assembled this sim rig over here. So let's start off with the most important thing, which is the wheelbase and your pedals. So I've got myself the Moza R3, and this has got the the Formula Wheel mod. So it's quite great when you talk about circuit racing, as you're able to map all these buttons, like for look left, look right, there's some pit. It could be for traction control. So all in all, this would be a great starting point compared to, let's say, the Logitech G923, and going on to the pedals. So this is more potentiometer, so it's more based on travel, and I've angled them towards the wall at 15 degrees, so it gives you a more accurate sort of way of driving, similar to how you would assemble it in a rig. Now for the chair, you basically just have to buy an office chair, and you try and don't install the side handles over here. That's the side armrest. And even for the wheels, you don't actually have to install the wheels. It seems to be quite sturdy, and in terms of the height, you push it all the way to the bottom, so it gives you a GT style seating sort of positioning. For the monitor, now I feel it might be better to go with at least 75 FPS single screen in terms of like a budget setup. You could even do triples, but I feel that would not really be that essential if you've got yourself the look left and look right to start off. And you could even do VR, but I feel you might need a much higher end system in order to run this on the PC. So now for the PC, I've got a GTX 1650. I've got the Core i5 12400F. I've got 16 gigs of RAM, and obviously there's a hard drive, and you've got yourself some cooling and fans, and you've got yourself a mouse and keyboard and some basic stuff. And obviously you need a little bit of decor around to make it feel quite premium. So that is onto the hardware part. Now let's go on to what are the essential software that you would need, and obviously to run the system you would need the Moza Pithouse, where you are able to calibrate the brake curves and throttle curves. Let's say you wanted to get the RPM lights flashing, you could even do that over here using some of the indicators. You could even tweak the FFB curve. You could tweak some of the inertias and all to get it to how you feel. But if you're more into circuit racing, then yeah, these are some of the other so some of the softwares that you would need to get started, which is basically Iracing. That would be like an essential sort of simulator to own. And the other one I would recommend is Le Mans Ultimate. You could go with the Assetto Corsa franchise, but I feel in terms of realism and what the professional drivers as well use, they would basically use a combination of iRacing and LMU. And AC Evo might be something that if you're waiting on the free roam, or if you're just looking to try out some road cars, you could go with that, So this is what a budget $1,000 setup would look like, which also gives you the ability to play different games at the same time, like FIFA, or there's some first-person shooter, while just raising up your chair. And you even have the option to do some of the work that you would want to do, whether it's editing or whether it's just general browsing or whatnot or what have you. So yeah, I mean, this is how it ends up looking, and that's the entire setup. So feel free to ask me any questions, and most importantly, I feel very, very, very strongly about the Moza R3 to get started with your journey. Yes, because it's quite easy to mount. It's quite easy to mount, as well as on the floor it doesn't actually move. So this, I would say, would be the first thing you buy, and then you try to build around this product. Great, thank you.